The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you use promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the... Wow, they have a Halloween emoji up here. Of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really Ralph, feeling Ralph, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. And it's Halloween week. Things are getting scary. Things are getting started all over the town. We will see how scary things get for one scary Terry and others in the gambling lawsuit that every single day just comes out with more information that is just pivotal to knowing about what's going on here. Like, for instance, apparently Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer Antonio Gates was also a part of the rigged poker games. Antonio Gates in the NFL, pro NFL Hall of Famer, a part of this. Scott Studio Rush Show. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing pretty well. For some reason, while I was waiting, the microphone I was using just stopped working. So I don't really know what happened, but hopefully the audio doesn't sound too bad. I got the computer audio rolling, so it is what it is, but hopefully it doesn't sound that terrible. But good to be back. Pretty fun NBA weekend. We had a random 50-piece last night, which people might have not realized. Shout out to Austin Reeves, who almost had a 50-point triple-double. I think he was one assist away last night. But either way, fun overall card today. Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, big overall card. The chat has been trolling before I even got in here, talking about rest in peace to Cam Scataboo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm used to it. Abrams went down. When Abrams went down, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen, and it was going to be that kind of season. So you know what? I am no longer surprised. I'm not disappointed. It is what it is, Scott. It is what it is. It happens all the time. Shout out to your team for getting a win, by the way.
Yeah, feels good.
We're not gonna divulge what team that is. If you know, you know. You have a number of teams to pick from that got a win yesterday. If you can figure out what Scott's team is, but Scott's team did get a win. So
I don't hide from it. You can just say I'm a Jets fan. It's fine.
oh, boo! You didn't have to. You could have gave them. You could have let them figure it out. Like, this was
documented.
It was a trivia question.
Yeah, to be fair, you said at least my team won for once. So the only team that did not have a win going into yesterday. So that counts for something. But you know what? 39 points. The game was fun. So there you go. Nice win for the Jets. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, no. But good for Justin Fields.
All right. It's been a lot going on in the NBA. Like you said, Austin Reeves had a big night. Anthony Edwards left the game in the first quarter.
Luka's out as well.
Yeah, Luke. The injuries, man. Just turn injuries off. Luka's out. What? I mean, Miami looks good. Charlotte looks good. Even though they played lesser competition, Charlotte does look good still. And Boston. We're talking about Boston getting, if they can get a win today. I can't wait to get to that game. Actually, I don't know if anybody's going to agree with me. I can't wait to get to that one. But all right, before we do that, NFL, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, college football, NHL, they're all live. We have podcasts on every single one. NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, college football, all of that over there. Get the picks, get the podcasts, all of that for free in the SGPN feed over here on YouTube. You can get wherever you get your podcast. You can get the SGPN app. It will have all of that for you. So make sure you go check out all the good content. Scott, number of games here on the slate. Only a couple at 7. Which one to choose from first? I'm going to swerve. Orlando, on the word.
On the corner?
Around the corner.
Around the corner?
On the corner.
I said around first. I said
Oh,
around,
did
and I
you?
said on.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you second guess yourself?
I honestly, I wasn't really sure. I wasn't sure what the lyric was, but I know the song. So there we go.
The Orlando Magic are on the road going to play the 76ers. Magic are laying 5.5. 227.5 is the total. Injury report here, and lo and behold, of course, the Philadelphia 76ers have an injury report. Of course, Paul George is on it, and of course, Joel Embiid is on it as well. Both of them are out for this game. They will also be without Jared McCain as they have been, Trenton Watford as they had been, and Dominic Barlow is also out. For the Orlando Magic, they are still missing Mo Wagner, but that is it. Scott, Magic are laying 5.5 on the road. Magic got the win in comeback fashion over the Miami Heat in the first game of the season, and then, completely laid an egg at home against the Atlanta Hawks. Now they're playing the 76ers, no Joel Embiid, but they're low-key a better team when he doesn't play. What are we doing here?
Yeah, you just took my cap. I was going to say they're probably a better team without Embiid anyway, but Sixers have been feisty so far this season. I do think that at the end of the day, Edgecombe and Maxey look very good together, and I think the pace should play a factor in this game. I think we've said this before. When Embiid plays, I don't mind unders, but when he doesn't play, I like overs because the pace is going to be very, I'd say, noticeable with Maxey and Edgecombe. But the Magic right now don't deserve to be favored on the road. They've been horrible ATS. The one game they won was an absolute sweat against a pretty good Miami team. I know they beat your team yesterday, but Miami's not that bad. But still, Orlando, they no-showed the fourth quarter at home against Atlanta. They haven't looked very good this season. Still work in progress. I don't know what that shot was by Banchero at the end of regulation on Friday, but that's a whole separate story. I'll take the Sixers plus the points. I think Orlando might win the game, but they've been a lot better at home than on the road for the last couple of years, and right now this season, it's been a work in progress with the new core they have, with Bane being there, etc. But I do think 5.5 feels like a pretty large number on the road for a team that has been underachieving so far. Philly's been feisty, good enough for me. I'll take the Sixers, but I like the over in the game.
I think I'm with you on the same side. I feel like Orlando is very easy right now, but something didn't sit right with me in that game against Atlanta, and then they went again and played the Bulls the next night and didn't look any better. Yeah, I hate to fade them like that, but the first three games, because Miami, they probably should have lost the Miami game.
Yeah, they should have.
They should probably be 0-3. It just seems like they haven't figured it out yet, and it's a lot of points to lay.
Once again, we're not selling on Orlando for the entire season, but for now, I don't want to lay 5.5 on the road with this team.
Yeah, and Edgecombe has been good. Maxey's solid. Like, again, the major part of this team is better without Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
They are. All right, I like it. Let's go with it. Easy for me. Sixers plus the points. Let's see here. Total was that? What was that? 227.5.
I wrote down 28.5, but I'll go with the over because Embiid's not playing. I just expect more pace. Orlando's been playing faster than expected, which is why they've had some high-scoring games. So I'll go with the over.
Yeah, defense hasn't been there for Orlando early either. So I'm with you. I'll go with the over. All right. Next up, Cleveland Cavaliers on the road going to play the Detroit Pistons. Cavs are laying 2.5. 231.5 is the total. Injury report here. Both teams have yet to submit because, if I'm correct, Scott, both teams played yesterday. Yep. The Cavs did play the Milwaukee Bucks. They got the win, not the cover, 118-113. And the Pistons played the Boston Celtics. They got the win and the cover at home, 119-113.
And they got smacked early. It was a nice comeback there in the first half by Detroit.
Yep. And so Cleveland on travel here. Second leg of a back-to-back. All right. How much is it that Detroit's kind of starting to figure it out? Because now they have very good wins against the Celtics in that comeback fashion and against the Houston Rockets at home on the road.
Yeah, very nice win by the Pistons against Houston. Against Boston, I don't think Boston's that good, but separate point, you were down a bunch early. You came back, you won, you covered, nice job. Durant had a great game. Boston against center. It's not named Embiid. You want to start your centers. So keep that in mind. But either way, the Cavs are the better team, simply put. I mean, I watched them in person on Friday. They were up 20 and change, blew the entire lead, still won the game anyway against the Nets. Fun game, but either way, point is the Cavs are definitely a level above the Pistons, in my opinion. There's just a certain amount of depth there that I do think matters. Now, I understand Garland is still out. They're still missing some guys. Hunter, for example, hasn't played. He's going to play in this game, so they get Hunter back, which is big. Actually, I take it back. He played on Sunday. Apologies. I forgot that.
He did
play on Sunday. 16 points, so I do like the extra defender that Cleveland does have. I like the front court with Allen and Mobley matching up against Harris and Duran. Game might be close, and I understand that Cleveland on the road might be worse than Cleveland at home. And Detroit, we know, does have a good home court. But I do think Cleveland's the better team. And with Hunter being back, that does address some potential bench concerns that I had watching them for the first couple games this season. I'll go Cleveland. I just think they're better. And if they can slow down Cade, not really stopping him, but slow him down, I'm still not sure there's really a plan B for this Pistons team. I'll go with the Cavs minus 2.5. But I am going to point out Mobley needs to pick it up. Mobley has not been as good as expected. So I'm hoping Mobley steps it up, but I think Cleveland's better. Give me the Cavs minus 2.5.
I don't know. I understand the thoughts on Cleveland being better, but I think the Pistons are playing some pretty solid defense right now. Yes, they have their moments, but when they lock in, they really, really, really do look good on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, Oscar Thompson and Ron Holland, are doing the business right now. And so, especially Oscar, I think that's going to be somebody we're talking about all season. And so this is a big game. This is a punching up in weight class. This is, hey, how good are we? How good can we really be this season? You got a Cleveland team that's 0-3 against the spread, still trying to kind of figure things out. And Detroit seems to be playing better ball each game. It was a good win coming back fashion. First home game against the Celtics. I'm gonna keep the home juju going with the Pistons here, and I'm gonna stick with the Pistons. Give me the Pistons here as a home dog.
Right.
I think they are punching up in weight class here, and I'm interested to see how they compete. This isn't a lock by far, but I think this is one of the games where Cade goes out there, shows up. The Pistons play some really, really solid defense here at home and force the Cavs into some tough shots. So I'll go with Detroit here.
I like the under.
Yeah, I like the under. That's what I like. I like the under both.
Yeah, I'm not going to lock up the Cavs or anything, but I think the under is my favorite play.
Yeah, I really like the under too. I think both teams defensively are going to get after it. It's way too 231.5. It feels like way too much. All right. Before we get to the next game on the slate, got to talk to you about mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including the NBA, NFL, MLB. Their motto is to bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using cryptocurrency. Head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for your 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. And, you're getting the best prices on the market because Novig is betting with your peers against each other. You can take better odds. So, hey, go out there, looking around, peep around, see what you like down there in Novig. And if gambling's not legal in your state, well, then guess what? It's available in 35 plus states, so yours might be supported. Go check out the Novig app and get $50 when you spend just $5 when you use our promo code SGPN. Download Novig. Promo code SGPN. All right. 8 o'clock window here, Scott. For 4 games. 4 games tipping off in the 8 o'clock window. Atlanta Hawks on the road going to play the Chicago Bulls. Hawks laying 1.5. 242.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have Jalen Johnson questionable, Chris Porzingis questionable, Zachariah Richardson questionable. Josh Giddey for the Bulls is questionable. Kobe White's out. Zach Collins out. Well, Scott, the first thing that comes to mind in this game is pace. I know Atlanta has not been as fast as they normally been this season, but I believe the Bulls are either first or second in pace.
So for these teams,
Six. They are sixth in pace.
Well, it depends where you look at it, because I'm looking at the Hollinger stats on ESPN. It has Chicago third, Atlanta fourth in pace.
Okay. So that NBA stats has them Chicago 6 and Atlanta 12. Still some relatively fast-paced teams here, man. So I expect the pace to be there. I gotta see what's the level of these questionables here, because Jalen Johnson means a lot for the Hawks, and I think Josh Giddey means a lot for the Bulls here. And so that's why I'm kind of flip-floppy on the side. I don't really know which side of things that I like here, but I know I just like pace. And yeah, there's a chance that this could go under if you told me that Josh Giddey, Jalen Johnson, Ricochet, all those guys aren't playing. But like, if those guys are playing in the pace level of this game, it's going to be like 260 million points in this game. So I like over. Not there on the side yet. I need to see some more about the injury report. But what you thinking?
Yeah, so first things first, I'm really confused because the NBA.com pace stats are very different than the ESPN one. So I'm not really sure how they got those numbers, but if you want to follow the ESPN ones, it's kind of an ironic twist here because both teams play fast. Both teams, efficiency-wise, are horrible. So according to ESPN, both teams are top 4 in pace. Both teams are bottom 4 in offensive efficiency. So you might see a lot of quick but bad shots. We'll see what happens. But ESPN's numbers, by the way, for pace, the Bulls ranked 6th and the Hawks ranked 12th. So I'm not really sure how each of them get their metrics, but there have been some conflicting, I'd say, stats regarding that. However, both teams are bottom 4 in efficiency offensively, according to both sources. I actually thought about the under in this game, mainly just because of who's going to be sitting in this one. I mean, if Jalen Johnson's out, then instead of taking anything involving props, or anything and taking total, just take Trae Young assists. If you're thinking everyone's going to sit, Porzingis has been out 2 of the first 3 games already, which is frustrating for me because I have a couple of 6 man of the year. I need Porzingis to play 41 games. Jalen Johnson, I think, is potentially going to sit, but we know that when he's not playing, the usage is going to go up like crazy for Trae. Giddey's a big deal. A reminder that Kobe White's also still out. So who's leading this offense? Vucevic and maybe Buzelis? I just have too many question marks with the injuries right now. I'll go for the under, but I'm probably not going to bet it. I don't mind the Hawks in this game because if Giddey's out, I don't know who the hell is going to do anything for this team offensively. It's a wait-and-see game. I got to wait to see who's playing in this game, but for 2 teams that play fast but have played really inefficient offense so far, I didn't mind the under, but I'd rather just take Trae assists because if Jalen plays or if he doesn't play, Trae can still get his. The assists have not been very good for Trae so far this season. I think they ramp up here against a bad Bulls defense. Give me the Hawks most likely to win the game, but I'll have to wait to see the injury report finalized. But give me Trae assists in this game.
Yeah, this is the game that Trae goes out. I mean, I think we could ladder this guy, especially because he hasn't hit the number. But he's been ramping up. He had 10 last game. Mm-hmm. This is clearly the spot. I mean,
against Orlando, and Orlando's been good in the past of limiting assists.
Yeah, so this is the spot where they go and Trae has the big assist game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's some 15 type assist or something like that. So, all right.
By the way, just pointing out, Bulls technically have the number 1 defense in the entire league, technically, according to efficiency. Mm-hmm. Small sample. I'll put it that way. The Bulls will not finish the season as a top 5 defense in the league. So I expect some regression, but Trae, he's at 10.5 assists. No big is plus 132. I like the price. I think Trae's a solid game. If you want to go for Trae points, by the way, at 23.5, but Trae has had at least 13 assists in 3 straight against Chicago. I'll take his over assists at 10.5.
All right, so last shot. Who are we picking? Atlanta, Chicago?
Well, right now I'm picking the Hawks, but I am not picking anybody until I know who's actually playing the game.
This is very true. It's very simple for me. Any combination. If Jalen Johnson is out, Bulls. If Josh Giddey's out, Hawks. If they both play, Bulls. Feel like that's the flow chart.
Yeah, but either way, point is, that's why I mentioned the props, because I do think even if Jalen Johnson ends up playing, Trey can still get the assist. So just give me Trey assists instead.
If they're both out, Hawks. Okay, so that's the flow chart. So, yeah, if they're both out, Hawks. If one or the other's in, then I'm going to go with the opposite side, of course. And then if both are in, Bulls. That's the flow chart. That's it. I think I figured it out. All right. Next game up. Your Brooklyn Nets, Scott, going up against the Houston Rockets in the battle of the unbeaten teams.
Do you know how, well, no, you mean the winless teams?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said unbeaten. Yes.
They were unbeaten preseason.
Battle of the beaten teams.
Yeah, battle
of
of
the beaten
teams.
teams.
It's a bit too early for the toilet bowl sound effect with the Rockets, but yeah, 15. You know how bad you have to be getting 15 and a half in basically your fourth game of the season? You have to be atrocious to be getting 15 plus points, and we're in game 4. Like, that is really, really bad. But yeah, Houston's still winless. So there you go. Nets have been feisty, though. They covered against San Antonio. They covered against Cleveland. They're on a back-to-back. But, they've been hanging around. It's the type of bad team I was hoping for. My pick for the Nets was 15 and 67. And you know what? They've been competitive. They've been losing, but competitive. Houston, they played some good teams, we'll admit. I mean, they lost to OKC in double overtime on the road. No shame in that at all. I mean, that's just a very good showing either way. They just fell short. The Pistons game, I thought they would win, but that game was still close. Detroit should be a playoff team. This is definitely a step down in competition, but the spacing is still a question mark, and the Nets are on a back-to-back. So do you want to lay 15 and a half?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So let me hear your case.
I think this is the one the Nets lie down. I'm just going back, and I remember the opening night against Charlotte, and I mean the shots were wide open. It's a lot of bad defense that's going on now. They kept up in the Cavs game. The Spurs play a terribly slow pace, and I think that was just more of a methodical type of thing. But like the level of defense is nauseating. I'm sorry.
To be fair, to point out, the Nets in those two games they covered against the Cavs and the Spurs, they did trail by 20-plus points at some point in the game before making a comeback attempt.
Yeah, and so I just don't think that the comeback attempt is gonna fall on deaf ears here, and I think that the Rockets are just gonna pull away. So as much as everything says don't lay this amount of points with the Rockets right now, I feel like they're gonna absolutely destroy this Nets team.
They really should. I mean, my team is really bad. We saw Cam Thomas have 40 points, no assists. Shout out to Cam Thomas last night. 40 points and no assists, and they lost. The perfect tank game. 10 out of 10, no notes. I do think I might consider – it's tricky because I want the under, but the Nets –
I was about to say, I don't think the Nets are going to score.
The Nets can't guard anybody, but I don't think they're going to score against this team. And I know for a fact, rebounding-wise, they're going to get killed on the boards in this game. Houston really could score like 130, though. So that's kind of the pushback there, because Houston might just blow this team out, score 125, and the game goes over anyway. I might take a risk with it, though. I'll go with the under in this game. I think you're looking at a Nets team that's simply put just not very deep offensively. And I think Houston is a team that can definitely out-physical the Nets. I'll go with the under. I think Houston, it's going to be very, very close to the spread. I don't see them winning by like 30, but I'll go with the under. I do want to point out, by the way, Houston so far is dead last in pace, and you're against a team on a back-to-back. Good enough for me, kind of like the Spurs game yesterday. Give me a slow-paced, one-sided affair. I'll go with the under 225.5.
100% agree there, Scott. Under. Nets team total under 104.5. I mean, if you really want to get spicy, I would just play the under. But asking Houston to get to 121 with the dead slow pace that they want to run, if they have their way here, they're not. I don't think they're going to put up a bunch of points. I think it's going to be the 99 to like 110 type of win. You feel me? All right. Let's see here. where are we at? We've got the Boston Celtics on the road going to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans laying 1.5 somehow. 233.5 is the total. Boston hasn't submitted an injury report because they played yesterday. The Pelicans you got Missy is questionable. Carlo, how you say that name, Matt? Is it Matt Takova? Questionable. DeJounte Murray's out. Kevon Louis out. Getting Missy back would be big. They need some type of size. I don't know if he's 100% back yet. Either way, it's hard for me to take. I mean, I understand I hate the Boston Celtics, and I really don't like betting the Boston Celtics, if ever. There was actually a long duration of time on this show where I did not bet them at all whatsoever. But, Scott, this New Orleans team sucks, and they're laying any type of points here.
Yeah, but they also have the Celtics on a back-to-back. Jaylen Brown dropped 40, and they lost anyway. So it's really not a great scheduling spot for Boston. Well, New Orleans isn't good. I think we all know this, but they did have the Spurs on the ropes. I mean, Zion did miss the free throw at the end. Game went to overtime. They lost in overtime. Wemby had 9 blocks. He almost had a triple-double with blocks. They've been competitive. I mean, the Grizzlies might not be good. They did a lead in that game early. They gave up a 19-0 run in the second half to lose the game, but they were winning that one. The Spurs, they almost beat as well. Spurs are undefeated. New Orleans isn't good. They haven't been as bad as I expected. It's kind of ironic because they're still winless because I don't think Willie Green and this team are going to do anything this season. But at the same point, do I think that Queen and Zion can have a solid game against Kata and whatever the hell this front court is for Boston? Yes, I do. Do I think that Jaylen Brown's going to respond, or I should say build off that 40-point game and drop another like 35? I don't know about that. I mean, we'll see if Boston sits some guys, but both teams are not very good. But New Orleans almost beat San Antonio, and San Antonio should be a playoff team if we're looking at what they've been doing so far. I'll go New Orleans in this game. I'm probably not going to bet on New Orleans because I got better use of my money, but I think 1.5 at home. We know New Orleans in the Smoothie King Center does seem to play a lot better than they do on the road. I'll go with New Orleans mainly because Boston really has no front court, and I do think that Queen and or Zion can have success in this matchup. So I'll go for New Orleans here, -1.5. Am I going to bet it? Probably not. But I understand why they're favored in New Orleans at home has been feisty at times. I think they can pull this off in a good scheduling spot with Boston playing yesterday and New Orleans having a day off. Give me New Orleans -1.5.
Yeah, I think Willie Green's days are numbered.
I think they should have been numbered about a year and a half ago.
Celtics played the Sixers, Knicks, and Pistons in the first 3 games.
Yeah, it's tough.
Very tough schedule. I think that this is really what it is. Outside, Zion is probably going to get his. And then they're going to play very good defense on everybody else. I think Trey Murphy is going to struggle from the outside. That's going to be tough. I think those guards are going to be in hell for the majority of the game. And that's ultimately, they're going to be relying on Zion, maybe some Queen, maybe Missy if he plays. But, like, they're really going to struggle to score the basketball here, even on the second leg.
I like Murphy, too. Shout out to Murphy. But, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's the down game for the Pelicans yet again. They realize, yeah, they're just actually not that great of a team. I think Celtics get the win here.
I mean, the problem I got to mention, though, for Boston, we knew going in was going to be the rebounding. I mean, they played against the Knicks. They got out-rebounded by 16.
Yeah.
Played against the Pistons last night. Got outscored handily once again as they got out-rebounded by 17. So if you think New Orleans gets some rebounds, I don't mind maybe a Queen double-double. Maybe Zion gets there. We'll see what the minutes.
And Missy plays. I like Missy props.
Either way, point is Boston, the rebounding is a serious concern. We knew it was going to be. But you can't win games when you just hand out extra possessions all the time. That's my concern with Boston. They can't grab a board. And I think New Orleans actually has some size that can capitalize on that. Could be a good Queen game. We'll see what happens.
All right. Totals at 233.5.
I'll go over. New Orleans can't guard anybody. I don't think Boston's great defensively either. I mean, they had a low-scoring game against the Knicks, but the Sixers scored 117. The Pistons scored 119. I'm not sold on this defense either. And New Orleans wants to attack the paint. So I think it's a good matchup for New Orleans. I'll go with the over in this game.
If I played it, I would only play Boston's side of it.
Okay.
Very questionable about what New Orleans does here today, but I understand the over thoughts. All right, Toronto Raptors on the road going to play the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs sitting there at a pretty 3-0, laying 5 at home. 232.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have for the San Antonio Spurs, they played yesterday. Toronto played yesterday as well, so I don't have anything here. We've got Toronto coming off of Dallas, a loss by 10, 139-129 at Dallas. And then you got the Spurs coming off the next game, 107. I'm sorry. Well, I actually think Toronto is a little bit better than advertised, but
they can't guard anybody.
Yeah, that's the main part of it, is that the defense is still really, really bad. And you got a Spurs team. Well, shit, they can guard everybody, apparently. Now, New Orleans was able to put up a little bit of a total, get them in overtime, but still really, really solid defense by this Spurs team. And I mean, Wemby's just a force down low. Like he has people looking at him with fear and terror in their eyes as they drive into the paint on him, and he's literally treating them like kids at certain times. So, who steps up for Toronto in this spot?
Well, that's the question, because they have a bunch of guys getting paid a bunch of money. So you can choose between, if you wanted to, Barrett, you have Barnes, of course, you have Ingram, you have Quickly. We'll see how many of them play on a back-to-back, but I mean, they're going to have to try to outscore San Antonio, because I know we said a second ago San Antonio does play a slower brand of basketball. I'm not sure it actually matters. Toronto can't guard anybody, especially in the paint. Mm-hmm. I like Jakob Poeltl. I think he's a fun player, in my opinion. I think he's underrated, but he's an awful rim protector. Look, we saw the Mavericks score 90 points, basically, against San Antonio. They scored about 103 against the Wizards. They scored 139 yesterday against Toronto. They had 70 points in the paint. Toronto can't guard any opposing centers. 80 at 25. Flag had a good game, too. Isn't Wemby just going to get a bunch of uncontested dunks? Who's going to stop him? Poeltl? Like, Giannis had 31 and 20 against this team. I think I might have to go San Antonio, just based on the fact that Wemby should get whatever he wants. I love Wemby props in this game, though. I know it's on a back-to-back. I get it could be a potential spot, or maybe Wemby, fatigue, whatever. But his points are at 29.5. This team can't guard anybody in the paint. 70 points in the paint allowed to the Mavericks. 139 allowed overall to Dallas. I mean, that's a terrible defensive showing. I'll go Wemby points at 29.5. I think he's got a shot at 40 in this game. So I'll go for San Antonio, but I'll go with the over, actually, in this game. I know San Antonio plays good defense, and I get that they can play slow. Toronto's the exact opposite. They can't guard anyone, and they want to play fast. So I'll go for the over in this game. San Antonio team total over.
All right, so you have the Raptors team that is giving up 60-plus points in the paint, 26 in the NBA. I mean, the Pelicans, Hawks, Warriors, all teams down there in the bottom of the league. Bulls, all teams bottom of the league in opponents' points in the paint, defense. So you got that going for you. And yeah, who's going to step up and have the big game? If Wemby's going out and dropping 30, and we're pegging Wemby for 30 on this side, who's stepping up on that Toronto side and being able to score the basketball and keep them going? Scotty Barnes has been able to help, but like, I think this team is just too defensively sound. Seems like a bad matchup. Toronto Raptors team that wants to play fast, and a Spurs team that plays really good defense and forces you into the half court. I'm with you. I'm going Spurs, but I wanted to make a case for Toronto, and at some point, the Spurs got to lose the game, but I'm going Spurs again.
If you're asking who I think steps up for Toronto, I'll go Ingram. I mean, watching Cam Thomas drop 40 does show there are some openings in the mid-range against this defense, and that's what Ingram wants to do. So if you wanted who I'd pick for Toronto to have a good game, I'd pick Ingram, but I still think Wemby has a great matchup, and Pirtle has no chance at all.
All right. Let's see here. Before we get to the next game of the slate, gotta talk to you about Underdog. Let's build an Underdog lineup, Scott. Let's see here. Firing up the old Underdog labs here. What do we like?
We just mentioned Wemby, so I like Wemby PR.
PR for Wemby. We talked about Trey assist earlier too.
I like that in there. And 13 plus and 3 straight against Chicago.
All right, points and rebounds from Wemby's at 41.5. And then Trey Young assists 10.5, higher there for sure. Do we want to get a third leg in here? We gotta get it. We do 3 legs. Let's see.
Yeah.
Who else? Anybody else later in the slate that we haven't talked about yet? Warriors and Ja, interesting. Could go for, I mean, you could just keep tagging on to the Reeves. Reeves is at 28.5 points now. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to take that. I know he had 15 change. I also think that the Kings are an abysmal defensive team, so that might not be the angle I want to go with. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else or anything else I was really interested in. I'm not going to go Joker triple-double. Not interested.
Oh, let's go KD. Let's go KD in the revenge game. He had 25.5 points. KD's going to get the volume.
I'm just concerned they bench him if they're up by a ton. That's my only drawback. I thought somebody mentioned Şengün rebounds, which I didn't mind potentially, but so I'm just looking at some of the later games. If there's anybody else,
I can do Şengün rebounds.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. There we go. Let's see here. There we go. Şengün rebounds. All right. Oh, a little bit of spicy here. We got Trey Young, higher 10.5 assists. Alperen Şengün, higher 9.5 rebounds. And Victor Wembanyama, higher 41.5 points and rebounds. At the end of Underdog, shake it up, and you're going to get 7.71x. $100 get you $771 over there. Underdog Fantasy, make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. All right. Let's see here. Next game up.
No, you skipped the other.
Oh, no. Yeah, we got Rhythm. My bad. Let me fire up the Rhythm Labs and see what Rhythm's got cooking over there. And by the way, while they're getting the NBA footage and everything together and the data going for Rhythm, you can lock into all the NFL props, picks, everything they have going on, the smart signals that they send. Really, really good stuff there that you can go check out there. Make sure you do check it out over there at Rhythm. And let's see, what does Rhythm like for today? Oh, guess what, Scott? Rhythm loves the over in the Hawks and the Bulls game. They expect there to be 249.5 total points in the game, 53.7% win probability over there. So shout out to Rhythm. Make sure you use that promo code SGPN25 when you sign up to get your first month 25% off over there with promo code SGPN25 when you sign up at Rhythm. All right, next up, OKC on the road, going to play the Dallas Mavericks. OKC is not lost as well. They're laying 8.5 points on the road here. 226.5 is the total. Injury report. Chet Holmgren is questionable, Scott. Alex Caruso's out. Isaiah Joe is out. J-Dub is out. Kenrich Williams is out. Yeah. Dallas hasn't submitted because they played yesterday.
Well, Dallas has given them problems historically, but they have no backcourt at all.
That's literally what I have. That's literally what I have written down. Dallas has given them all the issues historically. All the problems. With that being said, yeah, I get the no backcourt thing, but like, I mean, if Chet doesn't go, this at what point are we going to say that OKC is too hurt? Like, if Chet doesn't go in this game, they're down. I think Caruso, J-Dub.
Chet, Joe.
Those would be the main. I mean, yeah, Joe. I mean, but like those are like the main. Those are three very solid defensive options. Those are Chet and J-Dub, two of your better offensive options. You're 2 and 3 on the team, actually. Like, at what point is it? At some point, because the line's not changing. So what happens if J-Dub is playing in this game, or Chet is fully healthy to play in this game? Are you telling me OKC is laying 10.5 on the road against Mavericks? I mean, I know Mavericks haven't looked the best, but like, what? I feel like they haven't changed the number of them, despite this injury report.
No, I understand what you mean. I mean, they also went into Atlanta and buried them. They won that game by double digits, which was a good showing there. I mean, the thing about Dallas, though, is they can't guard anybody. Even the game they won against Toronto, I mean, scoring 139, once again, damn, Toronto's defense is horrible. But they give up 117 to Washington at home, 125 to San Antonio at home. This team's really a mess defensively. OKC, I know, might play good defense and all, but I'm contemplating the over. This might be a pure stay away game for me because I really don't like anything in this matchup besides maybe a player prop or two, but I'll go with the over. I get Dallas's offense can be underwhelming, but at least they have the size. They can make this game physical and maybe just let AD and Flag cook against what could be a compromised front line for the Thunder. On the other end, nobody's going to guard Shea on this entire Dallas team. So I'll go with the over. I think OKC should try to force pace, should try to force turnovers and make the game a track meet. I'll go with the over in this game because Dallas, in theory, could hand out 120 plus, which bodes well for the over. I'll go over, but not a game I'm thrilled with, so to speak. A lot of injuries for OKC, but I see points.
I know we've gone back and forth with pace this episode, but NBA currently has Dallas 7th in pace and OKC down at 27.
That's the thing is Dallas might not be able to score on a regular basis, but at least they play fast. I mean, the first game was a rock fight, but San Antonio turned out to be one of the slowest paced teams in the league. That might have been a matchup thing. But they have 117 to Washington, 129 in a win against Toronto.
And Toronto plays super fast. That was a recipe to go over.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that the defense is great at all. I think
it's really not a game I feel great about, but I'll go over.
OKC 3-0, 1-2 against the spread. Like, I don't know. On the road in Atlanta is different. It is OKC on the road, and when they haven't been their best selves, it has been on the road. So I'll take Dallas plus the points. Something in my gut just tells me I have it written down. You got to take Dallas against this team. They just somehow, no matter who's playing, they find a way to just fuck with OKC. So,
isn't it just all PJ Washington game?
Yeah, like that, and that's who we should have put in underdog. We should have put PJ Washington in. All right, you're on over.
I'm probably not betting this game, but I'll go with the over.
I think the pace is going to be something with OKC. So I kind of slightly lean to the under, but.
That's fine.
Not there. Yeah, weird game. All right, let's get into the 9 o'clock hour. Now we're shotgun starting the rest of the night, by the way, Scott. That was an 8:30 game. Now it's 9:30, and we're going 30 minutes after each way. Here we go. Utah Jazz at home welcoming the Phoenix Suns. Jazz are laying 1.5. Oh, and this time there's a team laying 1.5 that I'm not shocked that they're laying the 1.5. 231.5 is the total. Injury report, Isaiah Collier is out. Georges Niang is out for Utah. Dylan Brooks is questionable, and Jalen Green is still out for the Phoenix Suns. Okay. Utah had the win against the Clippers. Big, grand fashion at home. Played the Kings to the wire.
They were winning. I thought they were going to pull that off. That was my dog the last time I was on, and they lost by 1. So it is what it is.
And then you have the Suns who, they beat the Kings and somehow covered that game, the first game of the season. But then, I mean, it's been completely atrocious their past 2 games.
They played actual teams, and they got buried in their next
actual game. Real teams getting buried. The Suns look horrible.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie to you. Whether whatever place you have this Clippers team pegged, it is very true that the Clippers did get buried by Utah and then buried the Suns team.
I mean,
Hey, man,
I got Utah in this game.
it's really hard for me to look at Suns here. And I'm trying to go and look at anything, any good type of intel that will maybe be like, oh, hey, maybe it is actually good. No, I don't like the Suns. The Suns are bad.
The only intel I really need is the injury report because Utah is too early in the season to start sitting Laurie and Kessler, so they're actually playing real players at this point. The point is they played one home game. They buried the Clippers. We do this kind of every year where Utah is not a good team, but they're feisty at home.
Yeah.
And on the road, they just punt every game. Not so much against Sacramento, but they've looked pretty good so far this season. I mean, I know Sacramento's not great, but they still were definitely in a slugfest.
I mean, they only gave up 105 points.
Yeah, that's not that bad. But, I mean, the Suns this season gave up 116 to Sacramento, 129 to the Clippers, and 133 to the Nuggets, and Brooks might not play. I don't like Dylan Brooks, but at least he plays some form of defense. I don't think anybody else does on this team. So I got Utah. Home crowd's going to be into it. The fans might know that this team stinks, but the record says they're 500. Good enough for me. Give me Utah minus 1.5.
All right. Yeah, Utah. What else we got here? 231.5 is the total. Hey, man. Hear me out.
I like Utah team total.
Well, yeah, for sure the Utah team total. But what if the Spurs, I mean, not Spurs, I'm sorry. What if the Sun get dogged out of here again?
I mean, we expect.
I think they might not, like, there's a good chance, like, they might not score here. They might mess around and not score. It's gonna be all on Utah to carry this total. Yeah, and I'm perfectly fine fading the Suns defense and saying over, but it's gonna be I'm admitting it's completely on Utah to cover this total. If Utah doesn't go out there and score some 120 plus, like, it's probably not going to get there.
Did you see the Ishbia beef that he had with some people at the Ringer?
No. What was that?
Somebody on the Ringer, it might have been Bill Simmons. I'm not sure if it was his thing or just an article from the Ringer. They posted some like bold predictions for the upcoming season. So number 12 on their prediction list. I didn't read the article, but I saw it pop up on my social media. Somebody posted on the Ringer that the Suns are going to have the worst defense in the entire league this season. And Matt Ishbia retweeted it, offering a friendly wager against Bill Simmons that they won't have the worst defense in the league. Kind of sums up the Ishbia experience, doesn't it? You're beefing with people at the Ringer for whether or not you're going to have the worst defense in the league. Like, that kind of sums up everything about Ishbia's tenure as the owner of the Suns, doesn't it?
And it's like, I get his thought of, like, you're saying we're going to be the worst. You don't think there's nobody else. You don't think there's nobody else that's going to be worse than us. I'm willing to bet against that. I understand
that's fine, but why are you on social media, like, dealing with people from the Ringer when you blew up the entire franchise? Like, priorities have to kind of show themselves. You're an owner of a team. It's one thing if you're like Durant or you're a player and people are like cursing you out, fine. But really, an article saying your defense is going to be bad, that's the clapback you make? Really?
Let's bet.
Like you want to wait.
This is the issue. This is the issue in the NBA right now. Everybody's so quick to bet. They're so quick to bet. You guys can't bet. We can. Stop it.
I am going to point out, though, that this did drop 6 days ago, so it was before the Rozier thing
dropped. Everybody's so quick to bet.
That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't even like after the Rozier thing, but the owner of your team's trying to like start fun fake wagers with owners of public. Like, really? Like, what are we doing here? Like, Ishbia, come on, buddy.
We should take the opponent's team total over against the Suns.
Just pure spite.
And hey, we might win because it has been working. Let's just keep all right.
That's what I like for Utah, but I wanted to mention it because the Suns defense, if it's not the worst defense, it's definitely bottom 5. This defense is horrible.
And it's 116.5. I think that Utah can get there. All right. Yeah. Utah team total over 116.5. Nice play there. All right. Denver. on the road, going to play the Minnesota Timberwolves. Denver's laying 5.5, 229.5 is the total. We have for the Denver Nuggets, nobody on the injury report. And for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have not submit because they played yesterday. But as I said in the lead up to the show, Anthony Edwards did lead the game in the first quarter yesterday. Hamstring soreness, I think it is officially. And so he is not ruled out, but a hamstring, I would just assume you're not going to play the second leg of a back-to-back.
I'm
So
assuming he's out, but for the record, his games played are usually pretty high, but it's very misleading because he will play through injuries and have really bad stretches. He'll leave games early, but they count as games played because he tried to suit up for the game. So I think he played 77 last year. Very misleading. There's a bunch of games he leaves early in, and I don't think he's going to play in this game personally. Hamstrings are weird to deal with, and you don't want to rush it with your best franchise player. I think he sits, but if he does, maybe a limited role in this game. We'll see.
all right. So I think this is the Mavericks get back, Scott. This Wolves team really been kicking the crap out of them, like very recently.
Mm-hmm.
Regular season, playoffs.
Game 7, yeah.
Doesn't matter. Kicking crap out of them. Ant's not playing in this game. The Nuggets are getting some momentum. They get the blowout win and settle things down against the Spurs. Not Spurs. I keep saying Spurs. The Suns. God damn it. The Suns. Get the blowout win against the Suns. And then it kind of just solidifies that this offense is really good and this offense is going to be good for the entirety of the season. Defense, we'll see. But the offense is still going to be really, really good. And I don't know if Minnesota has all the pieces that they need to cover everything that Denver can throw at them, because not only do they have the starting lineup, but Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench has been fine. You also have Valanciunas that is shoring things up on the inside and gives you a good backup post player to be able to give the ball to. So that's been really big for them as well.
The bench is not a total liability, but Cam Johnson's got to hit some shots, which I think will happen over time.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they choked away a game against Golden State. I think Denver looks good. I mean, they were one of my inner circle title teams. Once Cam Johnson gets it together, the bench is not a complete joke anymore, which is a big deal.
All right, I agree. So I'm gonna fade the Timberwolves without Ant, and I don't get it. I don't get the hate for Denver. Drewski said he didn't know why he's laying 5.5 on the road with Denver.
Well, because he's also mentioning that Ant sat out yesterday for this game. I don't believe that. He played 3 minutes and then
he got hurt.
He got injured.
Yeah, and then he left and didn't come back. And that's why I think I don't think he's going to play. And then they went and they played that Pacers team that's literally going out there, and they're literally 2 players away from starting G League players.
Yeah, they're going to give us a call if they lose another player.
Yeah, like and they won by 4 or something like that. Like, I think this Denver team is good. And I think they're going to put up points regardless. So we'll see if the Minnesota Timberwolves will be able to keep up. But Mike Conley, in his old age, leading the offense for a duration of a game, I don't want any part of that. So give me the Nuggets here, laying 5.5. I like the Nuggets team total to go over. I think they'll be able to score. I like that offense. The offense is putting up a bunch of points, and they look good.
There is one underrated storyline. If you want to mention some deep diving bench players, can I interest you in a Bones Highland revenge game?
Oh, they've been talking about it too. Especially if Ant doesn't play, he's going to get the minutes.
I'm just saying, he might have a decent amount of potential alt potential. I'm not saying he's going to get there, but with no Ant, they need somebody to score, and we know Bones spent some time there. But I don't see any props listed. But
yeah, and if you're not going to play Rob Dillingham, he might as well go off, right?
I mean, I think Rob Dillingham's a pretty similar player to Bones Highland, but I think it's kind of weird they're using Highland instead of Dillingham when they just drafted him. But either way, though, Highland's getting a run, and it's against the former team. I think 10 points is reasonable for Highland in this game. I know that he's never turned down a shot. So I don't mind his points for this game.
All right. Nice little ad there. Total's at 229.
I'm not sure Minnesota's going to score.
I mean, I think Denver's going to carry most of the scoring.
I think it's more of a team total thing because I'm not sure Minnesota's going to score if you have no Ant.
Yeah.
So
Denver team total.
All
right. Memphis Grizzlies. on the road. Going to play the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are laying 8.5. 239.5 is the total. Injury report: Vince Williams Jr. is out for the Grizzlies. Ty Jerome's out. Scottie Pippen Jr. is out. Brandon Clark's out. Zach E's out. Oh, wow. Grizzlies doing what they've been doing all season, of course. All these players are missing extended time, by the way. Al Horford out for the Warriors. D'Anthony Melton is out as well. Okay. So I still have to figure out how good Memphis is, because they did struggle with the Pelicans. Came back and won, but they struggled. And then it was a complete no-show against the Miami Heat. Now,
No show's even generous. They were down like 40 at home. That's
dude,
one of the
it
more
was like,
embarrassing showings.
I think it was like some like 80, 90 points in the first
They were down
half.
like, it felt like 47 at one point. Like, it was bad. It was really, really bad.
All right. Warriors coming off of the back-to-back loss to the Portland Trailblazers. It was a lot going.
Really bad
favor.
scheduling spot.
Yeah, horrible. Oh, I mean, and then add everything else on top. A horrible scheduling spot to be playing Portland in that game. But
by the way, one correction. By the way, I want to pull up the exact score. Yeah, so they lost by 32 to Miami. In that game, they trailed by 45. So it was an absolute ass kicking from start to finish. But just for clarification, I misspoke. Miami never led by 47. The max lead was 45. So apologies, but they still won by 30 points.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whatever.
It wasn't 47. It was 45.
I looked it up. Whatever. The point is, they gave up 146 at home to Miami. So Miami might be good, though. They beat your team. I like Miami. They look good so far. But I'm going to ask you.
What I will say about Miami is that we have not seen them as a favorite yet. Just keep that in mind.
Yes, which is the perfect Spoelstra role for this team. But, I mean, I'm looking at Memphis this season, and they were down a ton to the Pelicans early. We think the Pelicans stink. They came back and they won the game, but that was a sweat. We don't think New Orleans is very good. Then you look at their game against Miami. They get blown out at home by 32 points. They play Indiana, who's an infirmary, and they blow them out. They ended up scoring 43 points in the third quarter. The Pacers, though, have basically nobody in general. But Memphis, I'll tell you what, though, Coward can play. Coward is a solid first-round player. The guy can hoop. But I'm looking at the rest of this lineup, and I'm not really sold by Memphis's defense. I'm not sold on their head coach. We've seen this for the last year or so since he took over. They can't play defense with this new coach. I don't see that changing. It's why this total is very high, but Golden State has kind of owned Memphis for the last couple of years. I think didn't like Curry have like a 50-piece against this team last year? I think. Like right after the Butler trade, like didn't Curry have like a 50-piece?
Let's see.
Against them?
I think so. Let me see. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, come on.
This Grizzlies team can't guard anybody.
So, yep, it was on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
50 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists.
Yeah.
52 points is exactly, to be honest.
Curry's been on a heater. I mean, even in the loss against Portland, he had a monster game. I think I'm going Golden State in this game. I get the argument is Ja, might have a chip on his shoulder to beat Golden State, but I don't like their supporting cast right now. Bunch of injuries. It is what it is. They have no front court. Neither is Golden State, so it kind of cancels out. But I trust Golden State's offensive consistency, the off-ball movement, etc., just result in a bunch of defensive breakdowns.
Or is that Scott?
What? I think I'm fine.
Oh, no, it was me. Okay. No, it was me. It was definitely me.
Grizzlies' defense is still too bad. I'm not going to pick him in this one. Give me Golden State. I see Drew mentioning healed threes. I don't hate that. But this Memphis defense is not very good. So I'll go with Golden State.
All right. Scott, Memphis is starting KCP and Jock Landale.
Yep. Not what you're looking for.
Give me Golden State. Like, this is not the Memphis team of old. Roster is significantly downgraded, and they're feeling the injuries. Yes, you beat up on an Indiana Pacers team that is probably the one team that's feeling it a little bit harder than you right now. Pause. And you have a win against New Orleans. And I really think
New Orleans were down a ton in that game.
Yeah, and I think New Orleans sucks. So I'm still on the Golden State side of things. Golden State gets back in the win column. Golden State pulls away. Really don't expect to see any defense here. And the only way Memphis is in this game is if they score 1,000,000 points too.
Yep.
So give me the over 239.5. That's probably the best play I got in this one.
I'll go with Golden State for this one, just picking the better team to show up at home. So there you go. There you go.
Yep.
First one of the year.
Yeah. It's really easy too. Sorry. Jock Landale, starting center. Okay.
That defense is just a mess. So there you go.
Portland is on the road going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers on the second leg of a back-to-back. Portland is laying 2.5. 226.5 is total. Portland is also on the second leg of a back-to-back. They
lost a close game to the Clippers. No shame in that, though. They played hard. Just fell short.
So they've been in LA, 114-107. They did get the cover. They are 3-0 ATS on the season. Our favorite, kind of undefeated. And then you had the Lakers have that, Reeves masterclass in the win and playing the Sacramento Kings. So whose luck runs out? Because it feels like Portland got up and they caught the Warriors at a bad spot. But then they turned around and played a good game against old man Clippers.
Isn't this a bad spot, though, for the Lakers? I look, the Lakers have 2 wins this season. Luka drops 49, and then Reeves drops 51. Both of them
just don't give up a 50-point score.
What am I even looking at? Like, the argument for the Lakers is the star players show up, or in this case, star player. Shout out to Ayton, though, who had a very good game yesterday. Revenge game here for Ayton. But I feel like I was watching a lot of that Portland-Golden State game. I think Portland might be one of the worst teams to play when you're on a back-to-back because Portland wants to play fast. They've gone out of their way to embrace pace. They're a deep roster. They have size on the interior with Klingon. They have different lineups they can use. But Portland can rotate a bunch of guys and just try to run you out of the building. The Lakers, in theory, could win this game, but the idea of trying to speed up a team that's a bit older and try to speed up a team that might be exhausted, especially Reeves, who ended up having a 51-point fringe triple-double against an awful Kings team. And they needed every point. I like Portland here. I think Portland's a good team. I think Splitter, who's now the head coach, has been fine so far. I'm not going to roast them for losing a road game to the Clippers. They hung in there. I like the roster. I like their depth. And I do think after dropping 50, Reeves should be exhausted. And Portland, like Golden State in that one game, I think ramps up the pace and the aggression and kind of runs them out. So I got Portland minus 2.5 in this game. I think it's a bad matchup for any team on a back-to-back.
Portland's been very good defensively to start the season, and where the Lakers have scored majority of their points have been inside of the paint, but Portland is top 10 in opponents' points in the paint scoring. I think the scoring is going to be a little bit tough for the Lakers here. Way harder than, the rotating door that they got around the basket last night against Sacramento. I'm with you. Let's take Portland again. I'm perfectly fine fading the Lakers team. Don't give up a 50-point score and the Lakers don't win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, easy. Portland, laying 2.5.
Yeah.
Total's at 226.5. Give me the under. Because, again, you don't give up a Lakers 50-point score. It's not a lot of options that are really moving basketball. And Portland's playing really good defense. Yeah, they play fast, but, I don't think the Lakers – I really think this is going to be more Portland than people expect, and the Lakers aren't going to do their part here.
Yeah, I like the Portland team total over. I think against a team on a back-to-back, they ramp up the pace again. They attack the basket. I know Aiden's rim protection can be underwhelming. I think it's a good spot for Portland's offense to actually have success. I'll ignore the Lakers entirely, back-to-back, with their only star player left having a 50-piece the game prior. Maybe they just no-show it entirely offensively. But I think Portland's offense has enough depth and enough scoring options to actually frustrate this Lakers defense. Give me the Trailblazers team total over.
All right. Let's see here.
Lock and dog.
Yep. Over to
So
you,
am I
Scott.
going first now, or are you going first?
I feel like have we not been doing good? I feel like we've been doing good.
I think
didn't
we
hit the last
have,
week.
but
I didn't
I'm
hit the
pretty
last
sure I
week.
went first last time.
Yeah.
So you want me to go first again?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going.
All right.
Keep it going.
For the lock, I'm going to go to the last game. Give me Portland, -2.5. I think it's a great spot for Portland. Look, the Lakers, I don't think their depth's very good. We know Reeves is definitely the third musketeer on this team. The problem is Luka's out, LeBron's still out. Aiden gave a great game against the Kings. We know Sabonis is an abysmal defensive player. Now you have Klingon and a couple other options there, so that should be a bit more resistance than what the Aiden experience got yesterday. He literally was dominating yesterday. I don't see that happening 2 games in a row. I'm looking at this lineup, and the projected starting point guard for the Lakers is Marcus Smart. Like, what are we doing here? You have Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, Austin Reeves, Rui, and DeAndre Ayton. If you use that starting lineup for an entire season, you'd win like 25 games, like maybe less than that. That's an abysmal starting lineup. Portland has depth. They have talent. Drew Holiday, they have Sharp, Avdia, Kamara, and Klingon. I like this Portland team. They're fun. The issue we thought going into the season would be their actual scoring. They play fast, so they can actually score. I like the matchup and the spot. They're not going to travel that much because they played in the same – well, they played in the same city a little bit. I mean, I forgot exactly where the Clippers stadium's located, but the same state in California. Not much travel there for them. I really like the spot for Portland. I'll take the Trailblazers -2.5 as my lock for the show. For my dog, I might go for a bit of a bolder play, but I think it's pretty fun. I really think the Suns stink. I think they're really bad. And we saw Utah at home look really, really good. They buried the Clippers. I'm going Utah alt spread for this one because I do think with Laurie, with a fully healthy team, I know Collier's out, but the fact is they're too early in the season to start benching Kessler, who's been really good, and Laurie, etc. I can get Utah -4.5 at +145. Sign me up. The Suns team's bad. Brooks might not play, so their defense might get even worse. Give me the Jazz -4.5 alt spread, +145 as my dog.
All right. Like it. Lock. Grizzlies Warriors over 239.5. Grizzlies defense is abysmal. Warriors are locked in all cylinders. Should be an extremely fast-paced game, and the Grizzlies like this little rivalry, and so they're going to show up somewhat. Dog. Trae Young, 12 plus assists, +163.
Okay, I like it.
Very simple there, Scott.
All right.
Gets back in the win column in his assist category. All right. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, once again, fun card. Hopefully we make some money tonight. And, of course, we're back once again tomorrow. For the update, by the way, for the actual schedule for tomorrow, it's going to be us again. So if you enjoy listening to us to talk about basketball, same time tomorrow.
Yep, we'll recap the lock and dog picks and get into how many games we got tomorrow. Is it short slate on Tuesday? Yeah, relatively short slate, but not too short. We got 5 games to talk about, so we'll be here. Grab a cup of coffee or a shot if you're that kind of person in the morning. I mean, we got people that listen on the other side of the world, Scott. So they might be some people that
I believe that's called an Irish coffee.
Ah, an Irish coffee. There we go. Okay, with that. He's at Retro Radio. I'm at @reallyraw__. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, and youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like, all of that stuff. It helps the show. And with that, best of luck to everybody in all your picks, except if your picks go against ours. And with that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way to end the podcast, just end it like this. We